bumper! Alright. Now that we're staring at a box, it's time to start opening this box and start talking about what's inside of it. So Morgan has always been a bit of an off-road oriented kind of guy, and he, wanted to go ahead and take the opportunity while the Blazer was back on the way up to modify it a little bit, make it better. So he decided to go and buy I want to say it's an off-road, affordable off-road. Is that what that said? Yeah, affordable off-road. I'm gonna assume that that's just affordableoffroad.com. But this is a winch bumper, and I'm kind of excited, if I'm being honest. I've never assembled one. This thing, a piece of it poked out the side of the box. So I hope everything's here. I'll grab you real quick and I'll show you. So, get my shadow out of the way. That is largely how this showed up. I don't know that anything fell out, but I don't know that anything hasn't fallen out. So we're gonna find out. I'm sure there's an instruction booklet, and I'm sure there's a parts list associated with that instruction booklet. So we're gonna find out what has happened. Oh goodness, look at this. Man, let me grab you. Look at that. Get in the light. So I don't know the orientation. I have no idea what orientation to show you. But that's pretty nice. Alright. I'm gonna set you back up here. I'm gonna try and pull it out. Forgive my terrible camera skills, because you guys know I am pretty dang terrible at it by now. Oh, so what do I do? Do I try to lift this out, or should I just try to split the box? It's double wall, so I don't know. You know what? Let's try and get this piece here that fell out. Nope, it's not going to come back through that hole while something's blocking it. Goodness gracious, we're splitting the box. That's what's happening. I didn't want to split the box, but we grab this razor. We're gonna split the box. Always be careful with razors and cut away from yourself. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people make real simple mistakes because they get into a rush or something and they end up cutting towards themselves, and they try to, I guess donate a finger would be the way to put it. I don't really know that there's anybody ever looking for that finger, but I've seen a lot of people try to give it away. Oh, that's why there's pieces inside of pieces inside of pieces. Awesome. That sounds like hardware. That's good. You know what? I'm going to just stop for a second and say, actually it says S10 front. I like this and I appreciate that a lot. A lot of times, people that sell items, they'll just use plastic bags, and those plastic bags they're not sturdy, they're not strong. Oh, look at that. That's one of the wings. That looks like, yeah. That's the passenger side. Oh, it's the driver's side. And it's all, I think this is all 3/16 plate steel. So once it's all assembled and put together, I think the shipping weight said 92 pounds. It's probably 2 pounds worth of cardboard and stuff. Let's see if we can wiggle this one back. Alright. So here is the bull bar. It's going to sit like right there. That's going to look pretty sick. Clunk. Pull some more cardboard out. I don't think there's any more moving parts. That thing's got some weight to it for sure. Goodbye, cardboard. Awesome. Okay, so this thing looks awesome. Hard to see. This is the centerpiece. Here's some eyelets that have been welded on. Oh man. All right, so I'm gonna bring you in close for this. We're gonna have to look at this in the light. Look at that weld job. That is actually a very, very nice set of beads, man. You guys over at Affordable Off-Road, for the price this thing was, man, thank you. Thank you for not offering junk, because this thing's bitching. And I don't say that very often, you know. I don't give very many creators or manufacturer their due props, because a lot of people, they do shit on the cheap. They try everything they can to, you know, maximize profits. And, you know, I understand you've got to make a profit, but like there's a difference between profit and just flat out gouging. Oh, looks like I've cut myself. Good. But this is basically, there's 3 bolt holes. It's going to bolt together like that. But man, oh man, I just appreciate the packaging. I know the box opened and they can't really help that because this is a big heavy box. As it went through, you know, UPS's shipping facilities and went down different chutes and across different conveyors, that sharp edge right there for that bull bar, that it was too much for a cardboard box to hold. So I'm not mad at them for that. I really appreciate that hardware. It being in its own box and being so taped up, a lot of people complain about a lot of tape. I got razor blades. I can cut through that tape. I'm not terribly worried about a little bit of tape. But what I do appreciate is the fact that because of that tape, because of that individual box being stuffed inside of a cubby of the bumper, it got here. I didn't have to call them. Like, as long as we strip this front end off, and by the way, that's what's next. Once I shuffle all this stuff out of the way, we're going to pull all this junk off, and then I'm going to try and lift this centerpiece up in here and see if it fits. And as long as everything fits, and it looks like it's going to line up and bolt together like it's supposed to, then I'm going to start painting all this. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut here. It'll just take a second for you. You'll see me in a flash. It's going to take a few minutes for me, but I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way, and then I'm going to get a kind of an idea of what we're going to do to take this bumper off, and then we're going to be back for me to go ahead and pull the bumper and run my mouth a bunch while I'm doing it. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and start banging some stuff loose. Now, from what I can tell, right here in the frame rail area, there's a bolt on the top. I'm going to try and see if I can reach it with my special fancy flex head rigid. Let's see if I can get to it. I'm looking right at the top of it, so I know I can get on it. Yep, that sets it off. Come on, buddy, get on there. Hey, there we go. Nice. And it works. Sweet. So what I was hoping was that I wasn't going to have to actually pull the grill just yet, because I wanted to test fit the core of that bumper. Clearly I can see the wings fit onto it, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to leave the grill on so that when I test fit the core, I can see the gapping in it and make sure everything looks good. Can't really do that with this bumper on here. I don't really have any special way of doing this other than just kind of getting into it. Just lay down, get under the truck, start undoing bolts that you see connecting stuff, and then eventually it'll fall off. Just be careful, because this bumper is metal, so it'll probably be pretty heavy. Golly dang, this bolt's long. Coming loose though. A lot of these get rusted. And I'll say this was a 15 millimeter for me. Oh man, it actually went loose. Cool. So one thing that does actually make this a little bit easier for me is the fact that Morgan has already torn off the whole lower plastic. So I'm actually much higher up touching all this stuff, because usually all these things would be behind that plastic. Alright, so that's something. It looks like there's going to be another bolt right about here. I don't know. Nah, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to pull the grill anyway. Alright, well that's fine. That just means the other bolts on the other side will be a little bit easier. Well, I'm going to bring you over here so that I can show you a little more close-up of what's going on. Alright, let's get you set up. Gotta love it. Okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Zoom in just a little bit. You know, I have the greatest camera skills of the absolute world. Alright, so these tabs here, I'm going to pull them. They'll come off. Get both of them. Of course, Morgan got that. Alright, now the headlight should be loose. And from there, we should be able to wiggle it out. Yeah, just like that. And we're going to disconnect the headlight. I think that's a marker light. I don't think that's a headlight on the outside. But there's a high beam, there's a low beam bulb. So we're just going to pop those clips off. We actually got new headlights, I forgot to mention earlier when I first started the video, so I'm kind of excited to be able to put new headlights in here. Okay, we're gonna, oh, I see what's happening, okay. So, this is the headlight that's not actually broken. It's just nasty, dirty, so we're just gonna gently set that one aside, and then I'm gonna pick you back up. Let's see, what are we, oh, it looks like that just pops in. I don't necessarily see any screws. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'll turn you back around this way. Dang, that one's a little tight. There we go. Okay, same thing, just wiggle the light out. Bam, just like that. Disconnect the harness, plug, whatever, however you want to call it. Bam, and you see this headlight got that nasty crack in it right there. So that's why we got new headlights. These one, junk. Let's see. So it looks like doopy. You know, I'm not for sure, because I don't want to go breaking shit, but I really don't see any way for this stuff to come out. I see. Yeah, I really don't see an easy way for any of this stuff to come out. It's kind of weird. Maybe there's some stuff behind the turn signal. It looks like there's these weird snap clips. Oh, they are. Okay. So yeah, I pinch these, push that out, and then I can undo. I can't believe that. This whole grill just snaps in like that. You gotta be kidding me. Yes, it does. What kind of shit is that, GM? What are you doing with your lives? Okay, so we're gonna come back to my original place up here on the toolbox. Okay. So from the look of it to me, the easiest thing to do is to disconnect these bulbs first, the turn signals. I'm not sure. There we go. There's a little push tab on the back of it for you to turn it. Just a little locking tab. So disconnect that, and then just kind of give it a good tug here and there, gently. Just try not to kill it, and it'll just kind of come right off, I guess. Yeah, just like that. And of course, don't forget, undo the other side, get that other bulb out. Yeah, and now the grill is out, and I'm really surprised that it just comes out like that. Just as a forewarning to anybody that may be doing this, be sure to go back through and look at all of these attachment points where all this stuff goes and lines up, and make sure that you pull all the clips out. Well, it broke one tab, I can't help that. Make sure you pull all the clips back out and put them back on the grill so that when you push it back together, it stays. So now, we've exposed these two screws. That's not good. That was okay. I'll take that one. So now we have our first problem. I gotta come and pick you up again. Morgan hitting stuff has crushed some stuff. So, here we go. Problem number one is right here. I can't get the socket on it with the 1/2 inch. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull out a 1/4 inch, not a 1/4 inch, a 3/8 drive. And that was a 15. And I'm going to hit it with my 3/8 impact and hope and pray that it'll do something. Maybe I can get on it. I got on it. Oh yeah. Thank you, boy. That's no bueno. That last one. I would have thought I could have gotten to this last one over here. Oh, you're supposed to be able to, but Morgan strikes again. Okay. Alright. So, we're going to have to go back under here with the 3/8 flex head. Damn it, Morgan. If you watch this video, next time you decide to eat some shit, don't. Because my goodness, this is already a pain in the ass. Now I have like no throw area to ratchet with, which means it's gonna take forever. Gosh dang it. Maybe I get lucky and it'll cut loose and ratchet easily after a little bit of loosener. Now bear in mind, like I said earlier, this is a metal bumper, so it's real easy to drop this thing on yourself and hurt yourself. I'm on the last bolt, I believe, so this thing should actually come loose from the truck. Now I'm hoping it doesn't fall and hurt me, but you know, I at least know it's coming, so I know to be prepared for it. I'm less worried about it than you should be, especially if you don't do this as much as I do. Now right now, once I get the tension off of it, I'll be able to see like how it's going to behave, and if I need to, I can just get out of the way of it. It's not that serious. I mean, like, I can get out of it before I can get out of the way before I cut the bolt completely loose if it looks like it's gonna fall. Well, it's coming loose. We're getting there. It's slow. But what are you gonna do? Getting a little tight, man. It never ceases to amaze me. Manufacturers put super duper long fasteners in certain places, and I don't really understand why. Like, there's very little need for the bolt to be so long. And it makes a real pain because I can't reach up in there or down there while it's wrecked like this. The only thing I can say is that the frame rail itself didn't move. Nothing looks like it's been pushed or repositioned, so here's hoping that once this comes out, it'll be a very easy slide it on, bolt it down, clean her up, and we get to make a little bit of dreams come true. Morgan gets a little bit more off-roady. I get the benefit of some video content like right now. And I want to apologize to everybody. I tend to not cut very much, and I am very long-winded. And the reason behind all that is just that I like to do these things in real time so that when you see me or one of my videos, you can tell that this job that you're watching can be done in X amount of time. I try to not do too many takes because it just takes away, when people cut videos together, it takes away from how long it actually takes to do some of this stuff. And so, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a personal preference. And I understand if it's not your video, your style of video, because I take too long or, you know, I'm boring. But, you know, that's kind of the benefit of this. This video here, this is not really a how-to. This is me doing some modifications for a friend. So I guess this is more of a vlog than anything. I mean, yes, you're seeing how to do this, so it is what it is. But I think it's fun. I think it's fun. And if you don't, I'm sorry. You can just go find another video, another content creator, and go watch people do other things. That's the beauty of the internet. There's room for everybody. You don't have to be an asshole, although I tend to be, especially when it's me not, you know, understanding the point of doing certain things. But for all what it is, you know, I'm open to criticism. So if you think I can improve on one of my videos or part of my process or something, just let me know, because I don't know, there's really not much I can do. Nobody says anything. I'll continue to think I'm doing all right, and you know, we're almost there. My goodness, this last bolt, because he wrecked this thing, I have this much room to move my ratchet, so I'm literally getting like 2 teeth at a time, and my arms are killing me. And now the little insert that has the threads in it that holds all the stuff together, now it's kind of rocking back and forth, so I'm having to hold it still so that the ratchet can actually ratchet. Goodness. That helped a little bit. A little better. My hands are still going to be sore at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter, but golly, that's better. Almost, almost. I know I keep saying almost, but goodness. Almost make a beat to it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Finally. Golly day. Can I get it? Can I get it? Yes, yes I can. Now it is officially finger tight or loose. Dang! Alright! Get that junk out of here! Ah! Oh goodness. So I guess let's go ahead and grab this thing and see how it holds up where it's gotta mount to. I have this here sneaking tools behind. Oh. Yep. Yep. Alright, so we gotta pull the tow hooks off. Well, what's left of them. Morgan broke that one. Alright. Now let us try that. See how it goes. Ah. Oh, cool. So I don't have to take a piece off that I thought I was going to have to take off. Okay, cool. Cool. So, looks like this air dam is not happy, but it does look like, for the most part, all of this should kind of hang. Let me see if I can. I really want to get it to lock into place so that we know for sure what this thing's going to be about. Okay, so it looks like this OEM splash guard's gonna have to come off. That's okay though. That looks like just a handful of screws and some simple stuff. I'm not real sure what's holding it up. I don't want to say that it's this front fucking wind fairing for the radiator, because if that's the case, that's not the wind fairing needs to direct things, but like it's like it doesn't want to go around the frame rail. Like I get a little bit of resistance, but okay. So after looking at it, I think what's happening is the frame rail itself on the bottom side where the channel comes together and closes to be welded to assemble the frame rail. I think that channel is swelled just a little bit on both sides, and basically I just need to take a hammer and just tap it up and tap it flat. It looks like the clearance is just really, really, really tight for this thing, and that's good, number one, because you don't want it floppy when you're trying to bolt it on. You want it to be tight because you don't want to have to soak up a lot of gap. So for this thing to fit as snug as it fits, I can beat things into place with a hammer. That's fine. So I'm going to take these back out, and I'm going to take this back off. I do think I'm going to go ahead and lose this whole air ducting thing. We're going to have to figure that out. But at least for now, I can go ahead and start with something. I know that it's going to fit. Matter of fact, let me get my hammer. Let me see if I can beat this into position a little bit. I know this is going to be loud and it's going to be annoying to hear. Everybody loves the sound of a hammer. Oh, yes, we do. Lord Honey Iced Tea. So let's just see. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's definitely sitting up there a little closer. So I'm going to bang on it a couple more times and smush it together just a touch more. And then that should actually mount it up. Man, this thing sticks out far. This thing's beefy. Like, really beefy. And I am going to leave this plastic. I'm going to try and make that work. Alright. We're going to take these clips off because I believe the new hardware they sent us is not going to need these. And I'm gonna beat these a little flatter too. That way, all the surfaces are as good as they can be. Morgan spent a lot of money on this bumper. Yes, it came from Affordable Off-Road, but the idea is money. Hundreds of dollars, still hundreds of dollars. Even though this thing wasn't a $20,000 bumper, it's still, you know, a few $100. So. I need a screwdriver. Yay, hooray! We're getting there, boys and girls. We're getting there. Alright, that should have been them. Now, just in case those were what was getting in the way, let's go ahead and try this again. Every time you do one small change, you want to stop and try to retest fit. Yeah, we're actually not far off from the holes lining up. Cool. A little more tappy, beady with Mr. Hammer, and we might actually be able to start painting. Hey, that's right. I said I wanted to try and beat that a little flatter. All I'm wanting to see is all of the holes line up. As soon as all the holes line up, I'll be happy, because then I can run bolts through it and, like, push and pull. This one's dead on. You know what? I think I'm going to send that. Yeah, I think I'm going to send this because if I go ahead and call it here, if I go ahead and call it here, and I go to like push it down and wedge it into place with help, it'll be in something of a bind on the thing. So it'll kind of hold, I think, a little better. But I'm very satisfied with the layout. I think this is going to be the end of part one. I think this is a good place to call it. Basically, we got the front end stripped off. We got the core test fitted, so we know that this is at least the right bumper. It's got the right holes. All of the alignment and mounting points are proper like they're supposed to be. This is just going to be a matter of, bolting everything down and forcing it into place. And I think once we do that, it'll work out really well. We just got to get there. So I'm going to call that here. And then we're going to come back on another time once I've gotten a little further along, because obviously you're not here for the entire process. I'm just wanting to show you the big pieces. I'm going to do a little bit of the paint so that I can kind of explain what I like to do for paint, but I largely think everybody does paint about the same when it comes to rattle cans, so I don't really think there's anything I can do different from what you can do. So we're going to call that, but it's pretty sweet, right? I mentioned Tristan earlier. That's Tristan. I bet you it's Tristan. Bet you that's Tristan. And it is Tristan. Ooh! Alright, y'all. Well, I'll see y'all back on part 2 when we go to try and figure this out. Thanks, everybody.